Mitsurugi.
Ha! Do you really think Soul Edge would be around here? Can you not see when you've been duped?
What?
You've made my job a lot easier. I must go thank that elderly gentleman. Farewell.
Damn! Where'd that old man get to? A note?
Forgive me for leading you on a wild goose chase. You are, indeed, a powerful warrior. That is why I could not allow you to get near Soul Edge. I can say no more.
No! I've been had!
One as formidable as you need not rely on weapons and whatnot. Rely solely on your own strength, and you shall master the martial arts. As a fighter myself, I am keen to see what path you will take. Farewell.
Well, I was able to test my hand against some formidable opponents. There is some worth in that. Still, we have unfinished business. Next time we meet, old man, we do battle.
The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history. Taki.
Gallowfury, this ends now.
Ever the hard worker, Taki, even though you're an outcast.
Shut up! It's Toki's turn next.
Master Toki's probably not even in these lands anymore.
What?
Did you really think he knew nothing of Soul Edge? Mekimaru's power pales in comparison.
Pursuing Toki will lead me to Soul Edge. This must be fate. No, it's just something I must do. Time to cross the seas once more.
The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history. Killick.
The final battle draws near. I can feel it.
Don't worry. Your training's been paying off lately, right?
Yes, but who knows what will happen now that it matters.
Don't put so much pressure on yourself. You're not alone here.
I know. I'm grateful.
I think we make a great team.
Damn right we do. No one stands a chance against us.
Okay, let's go. Whatever lies ahead, stay strong.
The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history. Maxi.
It's one thing after the other. What's the big deal about Soul Edge anyway? This is all it deserves.
Oh, what a waste! Even a fake's got its value.
Couldn't care less if it was the real thing. These nunchakus Yagaji made are worth 1,000 times more.
Oh, so that's what you had in mind. Clever.
Guilty as charged.
Lila's none too happy about all this.
Well, I think we've been hospitable enough. All right, crew, let's go. Anchors away.
Sure thing, brother. We're with you wherever you go.
The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history. Xianghua.
Wow, you're really something.
Lingyu,
Come on, Xianghua. What's with that expression? Don't cry. Stand tall. Be proud. You're the victor.
Justice will prevail. That better?
Yeah, better.
A quest for the Sword of Salvation.
So that's why the Third Corps is using the Emperor's Guard.
Here I am, finally. Another path closed to me. In that case...
Fate is carved with your own hands. Use that sword to open a way to the ever-changing future.
Mother, Lingyu, just you watch what I can do.
The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history. Grow!
Wonderful! Though driven by hatred and sorrow, you could resist your destructive impulses. Such a magnificent sight to see. However, I am spent. I could not possibly take any more of this drama. A serious wound would spoil the fun of leaving the organization.
What do you mean, the fun?
Pursue me. Allow the desire for revenge to permeate your being, but do not lose your senses. I have been moved by your story, and shall never forget it.
An earthquake? No, this must be...
This place will soon be reduced to rubble. Perhaps we will meet again, should you live. I would like that. Farewell!
Wait! Damn these infernal fiends!
Grow managed to escape from the crumbling temple, but his friend's corpse was lost in the rubble, never to be found. Grow returned to the organization to report everything that had transpired with Aswell. Waiting for him was the news of Orzel's death upon Aswell's defection, as well as a new mission. Aswell had double-crossed the organization in the hope of unleashing the evil seed again to save humanity, or so he claimed. Grow's new mission was to kill the outsider Aswell before that could happen.
I shall never forgive you. Your intentions matter not. You took my friend from me. Mark my words. You shall pay.
The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history. Aswell.
Where did you obtain such power?
You can still stand? I suppose I should have expected no less from one of the 12.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Finally, some backup. Kindly take care of this. I was careless to assume you were the only betrayer.
How dare you oppose Lord Aswell?
Miserable swine!
Let's leave it at that.
Yes, Master. All your pursuers have been taken care of.
Well done. The time for research, experiments, and observations is at an end! We now enter the implementation phase. My beloved human darlings, I shall show you a shining ray of light that will free you all from suffering and sorrow.
The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history. Ivy.
You have strength. Strength that comes from evil.
Get away from me!
It's up to you whether you believe me or not. But I've fought one who wielded the cursed sword before.
Do not take me for a fool.
That eldritch aura that envelops you. If I closed my eyes, I'd believe it was Cervantes himself. Think, who is your real father?
You're lying!
So long.
I refuse to believe it until I see it for myself. Nightmare, damn you! I never crossed paths with Nightmare. It appears someone defeated the Azure Knight. As for what happened to Soul Edge, I know not. It's possible the one who vanquished Nightmare has it, or it could have been destroyed. Still, I feel it. A terrible evil calls out to me from somewhere in the world. Yes, I have accepted my fate. I am daughter to the cursed sword, the heir of an accursed lineage. So I have made a vow to obliterate the cursed sword and rid my own blade of evil. That is the sole purpose for which I now live.
The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history. Cervantes!
Is that all you've got to say to your father? You can do better than that! Such a disappointment. I thought you said you were going to send me back to hell? Your weak soul is of no value to me.
Mark my words, I shall bury you myself.
I'll let you live, for now. I'll be waiting for you, my dear daughter. Come find me when you're stronger, when your soul matches your words. Only then will I claim it, and resurrect Soul Edge. When Soul Edge is mine again, the great pirate Captain Cervantes will be back with a vengeance. Yeah!
The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history. Songmina.
Well done, Mina. It's not up to me whether we includes you. Now do you understand what I meant?
Yeah.
Now, let's go home. It's time to take a break from searching for Soul Edge. We can protect our homeland with our own hands, even without the Sword of Salvation. Can we not?
Yeah! Hey, Wong. What happened to your job at the Navy?
Recently, I realized something very important.
Really? But you're so much older than me. I know. This is embarrassing, so give me a piggyback ride like you used to do.
I thought you said you hated piggyback rides because they were too childish.
The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history. Astaroth.
Okay. What now?
Still trying to think of a way out. You do realize I can smell the odor of others in this castle too. As long as I'm here, you're never getting through. Wriggle, you worm! As long as the God of War protects me, I'm indestructible! All who defy me shall feel his divine wrath! This day can't get any better! I'm gonna kill both Nightmare and that loathsome woman! Then I will present Ares with the fully resurrected Soul Edge! And once that's over, I'll...
Something wrong? You appear quite rattled.
Enough! It's nothing. First, I'm gonna deal with Ivy. Damn it! Now my day's utterly ruined!
The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history. Nightmare.
Siegfried! Siegfried! Find the one who pierced my body and took my life. End my suffering.
Father, I shall have revenge.
You shall. That is why you need souls. With them, all your wishes will come true. Call me back from hell.
More souls.
That's my boy, Siegfried. I need more souls.
The Azure Nightmare was none other than a young man whose mind was warped by the sweet words of the sword. As its puppet, he relentlessly harvests souls, and once he gathers enough, the Soul Edge will return to its former glory.
Soon, Father.
The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history. Siegfried.
Is this the end for me? But if the sword's power is unleashed someday, that time, it will come.
Siegfried's battle with his nightmares raged on. No one knows of his sacrifice. However, if there was ever one who could prevent the resurrection of the cursed sword, it would be Siegfried. He who dashed Soul Edge's hopes of devouring SOULCALIBUR. The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history. Sophitia.
The evil is still present?
I'd forgotten what it was like to feel so at ease.
What are you?
Sorry, but you have my gratitude. Leave Soul Edge to me.
No, wait! I never found out his name. However, I had a feeling I had done what I was sent to do. Still, I know not if it is wise to leave everything in his hands. Almighty Hephaestus, hear my prayer. Please watch over him.
The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history. Voldo! Standing before Verci's sarcophagus once more, Voldo bowed his head and gave his report. Before long, amid an eerie glow, Verci appeared before his loyal servant.
Welcome back. You have my thanks for completing both your missions. I find it hard to believe that Soul Edge was destroyed, but we will learn the truth in time. First, we should rejoice that my treasures are now back where they belong. Also, the woman may have stolen a portion of my notes, but in this box are our letters. The letters we exchanged while you were assisting me in my search for Soul Edge. These easily contain more information than one could ever glean from my notes. I'm sure she would want to get her hands on them. However, the real reason I value this box so much is because it contains a record of my successor completing all his training.
The fact that Voldo still remained loyal to his master long after his demise proved how much they trusted each other. Deep within the dark pit, in a hollow darkness lit only by the glow of flickering flames and gold, Voldo basked in a new, blissful light, born from Verci's everlasting trust. The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history. Yoshimitsu.
Why do you resist? I shall grant you what you desire. Enough. You are not the demon of the sword. You have another path open to you. Your name is Yoshimitsu. Now be silent.
Good. You finally come to.
Where am I? Oh, you. I'm in your debt.
Do not reproach yourself.
No. I was weak. I lost my way. Only the thought of another's death kept me going. But never did I discern what I was becoming. I must walk the path of benevolence and justice. If I protect the weak and crush evil, none shall ever again walk that wicked path I took. That is how I shall avenge my clan. My people, watch over me as I battle for justice.
The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history. Raphael!
Thank you. How are the lessons going?
Very good, young master. The girl will grow into a fine lady. On his return, my lord will be struck dumb in disbelief. Still...
Raphael, I think I'm more suited to sword practice. Can't you teach me, like you used to?
Amy, you're smart enough to understand. If you want to carve a future for yourself, you need an education and manners.
I know, but you meanie.
As you can see, there is still some way to go.
Amy. Can I really offer Amy a bright future like this? I came to this reading room looking for answers, but I'm coming up empty-handed. Ample finances, a safe place, a fine education. Despite the freedom this lifestyle offers, it's not enough. This letter. Report on the evil seed. Could it be? There's no mistaking it. This is research on that abominable evil seed. Malfestation? Madness? The evolution of humanity? Interesting. It all sounds so fantastical. This was written by Scholar of the Future. Who could that be? Soul Edge. A cursed sword that feeds on souls?
Raphael?
I see. An exchange is made for power. Maybe this sword is the key.
What is it, Raphael?
Oh, Amy. Why the long face?
I was waiting for you to come back. I thought maybe you were mad about earlier. I've been scared recently. I never knew what it felt like to have something to lose till I met you.
You have nothing to fear. I shall make you the perfect world.
Raphael? Are you in here?
Of course. Here's a thought. How about some hot chocolate for a change?
The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history. Tira!
So, Nightmare is kind of like a puppet?
And he really killed so many people?
All is done because Soul Edge, the cursed sword, wills it, desires it.
All right then! Let's go see Soul Edge! Yay!
Do as you please. You are worthy of that at least. I am not obligated to bring you into line.
What was his problem?
That was a rather boring fight. I didn't even feel like killing him.
Who cares about him when Soul Edge awaits?
Things have suddenly gotten really interesting.
I know! I can hardly contain myself!
This is the first time we've been on the same page.
The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history. Talum!
Eldest one.
Oh, Talim?
Yes, it's me.
What a fine breeze.
Grandma, don't you think it's about time? Everyone seems really nervous, and I think I've proven myself to the village. When did you notice?
When the amulet went missing. I mean, you're the only one who could hide something so powerful from everyone.
Such a clever child. Talim, I knew you already were powerful enough, but that wouldn't be enough to convince the rest. Therefore...
I know.
I am sorry for testing you.
It's okay. My name means Sharp Blade. Even the last priestess has to face danger sometimes in order to survive. It sounds a bit perilous, but I like my name.
Talim. Go. You've earned the right to. You're the only one who can right such a wrong and return the shard to its proper place. But you must promise you'll return.
I know. I promise. Such a nice breeze. As long as I have the wind, I won't feel lonely no matter where I may go. Grandma, fellow villagers, see you soon.
The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history. Zasalamel.
This tome has become much longer than I imagined it would be. I may have gotten carried away and written a bit too much, but I hope you understand I didn't have time for editing. Not that it matters, as I plan to burn this book to ashes. It may seem strange for me to care about time, as death holds no sway over me. But time waits not, even for the eternal. The cursed and spirit swords are together, and their power grows. Now is the perfect chance for those who seek power. It is time for me to take action. I once wished for death, but now I wish for something else. Now, I wish to cultivate the potential that people possess and lead them to a glorious new future. I seek not meaning or understanding in this. I am not even certain from which of my memories this thought sprang. I feel as if it has always been inside of me, like a memory from a past life. I've thought of one other possibility. Perhaps this memory is from the future, sent back to me by my future self. Or maybe I simply have too active an imagination. Whatever the case, everything will begin once I acquire the power I need. The cursed sword and the spirit sword. I need them both to proceed with my plan. It has already been set into motion. The time has come. Now I shall harvest the fruit of my labors.
The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history. Geralt!
Sorry, gate's about to open. Party ends now.
What? But I was just getting into it!
Had a worthy opponent in you, no two ways about it. Love to finish our fight, but, well, Witcher duties call.
So, you are returning home? Very well. Come back anytime. I'll be waiting.
So long, Samurai. It's been emotional. Been one hell of a ride, but it's almost over. Finally. Great. Now just need to get through the damn gate. Let's do this. Sri Vasu Svaha. Ah! Am I back?
Witcher! As I live and breathe, you have returned.
Head feels like it's gonna explode. Mind keeping it down?
Forgive me, my methods were a bit harsh. However, at least now you know I am innocent. No? How was the other world? Do tell!
Well, it'd take some time.
Then step over here and make yourself comfortable. Would you care for some fine wine?
Warm welcome. Nice and all. But as I see it, you owe me a lot more than that.
The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history. Amy!
Raphael.
Milady! Thank goodness.
Malus? Then you found me unconscious outside.
Yes, I thought for sure you'd gone and put yourself in danger again. But there was no sign of anything amiss when I found you.
Where's Raphael?
Calm yourself, milady. The young master left just the other day. It's not good for your constitution to sulk so much over his absence.
Right. Raphael's away, traveling. He's searching for something. And something bad's going to happen. I just know it. But I can't remember what. Some of my memories are gone.
The young master is sure to be back. I believe it's his wish that you remain here and wait patiently for his return.
Yes, but... those who seek stasis must never cease their step. I couldn't remember who it was that first spoke the words that flashed into my mind. As I said them to myself, I was filled with a powerful sense of revulsion. Still, they somehow resonated with me. Malus, my sword. Also pack my things. I'm heading out.
No, milady. Is what I'd like to say, but I expected this. There are two conditions. First, you must take me with you. And second, you must find a skilled guard to escort you.
And if I refuse?
Well, perhaps I'll chop off a finger each time you resist.
That's unfair. But I'm glad.
Something has changed in you, milady. Take it. It is your sword, Albion.
I swear upon the sword that binds us. I'll live so as not to lose. No matter how dark the road I must travel, this sword will light my way. Albion, the radiant one, his hope, his dream, and mine.
The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history. Cassandra!
Congratulations! You don't know how happy it makes all of us to see that blissful smile.
Thank you, Zenon. I hope to see you at the bakery again soon.
I'm glad I lived long enough to see you two get happily married.
Thank you for everything, Master Nikos. Please take care of yourself. Sophie looks really happy, huh?
Yeah, that was such a lovely wedding. I'm so happy for her.
I expected Mom to cry, but I've never seen Dad sob like that.
Really? He started blubbering when you were born. Don't you remember?
No, how could I? And you were only 2 or 3. How would you know?
'Cause I remember most of the happiest moments in my life.
Well, I only remember stuff about bread anyway. Oh, it looks like everyone's finished. It's time, Cassandra.
Okay, okay. Don't push me.
Thank you for today, Cassandra. I was so nervous, and having you around helped me get through it.
You're very welcome. And congratulations, sis. Rothion, I guess you're my brother now. So, about what I said to you that day.
Oh, that. I couldn't bring myself to.
Why not? I hate it when people hide things, so I'm gonna be blunt. I don't think I can stomach Sis marrying you right now. I can't be happy for you two. I'm sorry for saying such mean things. And I'm really happy for you two right now. Honest.
I believe you. And I'm really glad you're happy for us.
It turns out I don't have it in me to stop Sophitia either. So if anything else ever happens, let's work together to help her.
I wonder if the 2 of us will be enough. Regardless, thank you, Cassandra.
Sis has brought us all happiness. And I'm sure there's even more to come. And if my selfish sister is going to keep trying to save everyone, then Rothion and I will do our best to protect her.
So, Cassandra, we actually have something important we'd like to ask you.
You do? What's with the sudden seriousness?
When we have a child, we want you to be the one to name it.
Rothion and I discussed it already. If it wasn't for you, we'd have never gotten married.
Wait, really? I mean, are you sure you want to entrust something so important to me?
Of course. Right, Sophie?
That's right, my dear.
Wow. In that case, I'll have to think really hard about it. Maybe a name from the stories Sis used to tell me when we were little. A name that says no matter how hard things get, they'll be tough enough to see it through. If it's a boy, maybe Deucalion. If it's a girl...
When an unbreakable soul transcends history and the world, it can bind together even a broken destiny and carve a new future. Hilda!
You will not change your mind? You will leave Wolf Krone?
I will. My left arm will be useless for some time. And the Silver Wolves cannot be led by a man unable to fight, right? Besides, there are many ways I can aid our land from abroad. Thankfully, I have one already in mind. I'll experiment, see how best I can help.
I see. If that is how you feel, I will not try to stop you.
Then that's that. If you insist on remaining just a regent, there's little choice.
But know that I am grateful. Thank you for sparing my father's life.
No need for thanks. I had always wanted to disobey the king's direct orders, at least once. Moreover, the idea that Malfested can never regain their minds was proven wrong. It stands to reason there is a chance for recovery, right? Dawn will eventually come, and light will chase away the darkness. As long as you do not waver, the people will believe in you. And that includes me. Now then, farewell.
My lady. You were thinking of Lord Wilhelm, weren't you?
What? Nonsense!
He has been quite active of late, I hear. Negotiations with the Holy Roman Empire, securing supply routes for our troops, searching for allies to help develop armaments, and even visiting with the Aval organization to search for ways to cure malfestation.
You are right. There are no words that can express the depth of my gratitude to Wilhelm.
He is your fiancé. Of course he is in your thoughts. I only wish both of you admitted your feelings earlier.
Garbrand, don't you start with... No more of this talk. Are the preparations complete?
Yes, Your Majesty. Your vassals and generals are all present. Great crowds of people, too, have gathered in the hopes of laying eyes upon the one who will lead them.
You have done well. Now let us greet them. There is much I must speak of. New plans, new policies, and lingering threats. Soon, the darkness of the Azure Night will once again descend upon our land. But I am not afraid of the many hardships that are sure to come. My people believe in me, and I have but one course. I will lead them out of the darkness and into the light of dawn.
The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history. Setsuka!
Shugen Kokonoe's art lives on through me!
Was that mournful oblivion? No, it is even greater. It does not take life, but grant it.
I call it return from oblivion. The Shugen I knew was far too kind for his own good.
Indubitably, your skill is unsurpassed.
You shall remain alive, even if you can no longer draw your sword.
Have you found your path, Setsuka?
Yes. Once I master the secret arts of the Kokonoe clan, I will search for the remaining scrolls and track down that man.
The secret arts will be of great use to you in your journey, I'm sure. I shall share with you any information I find on the other scrolls.
I must thank you for all your help with the plan. No, with everything. Thank you, Saka. Rather, Gekyusai.
I don't mind, Saka. Would you want to be called by a former name?
I certainly wouldn't. Getting a new name was like ridding myself of an evil spirit.
Come to me anytime you encounter trouble. You are like a granddaughter to me. No, more like a daughter. Nothing at all. I pray for your good health and fortune, Setsuka.
Thank you. Farewell. It's time for my journey to begin.
Fell over here, did you? Good. Kokonoe Gyobu. You had so much potential. He's not a total loss, but I should find a new pawn.
Shugen, another year has passed, and I think I've finally found my purpose. Once I finish my task in Japan, I shall leave on a journey of vengeance. Not as a pupil who lost her master, but as a woman robbed of her love. That man stole my master. He stole my life. Now I live to defeat him. Getting my revenge will set me free. Master, I will find Heishiro Mitsurugi and slay him, even if I must defy your wishes to do it.
The flower that bloomed in spring was a barren love. Blossoming silently amid the snow, eternally unrequited. Dark clouds shade the wavering moon as the demonic swordswoman steps into the night. Huang!
I apologize for the wait, Soo-hyun.
There you are, Secret Royal Inspector Hwang Song-gyong. I have a new mission for you. A domestic issue this time. Head to the royal capital. An individual swayed by stories of the Sword of Salvation has obtained a fragment of the cursed sword. To make matters worse, an enemy spy has caught wind of this as well. See to it that you procure this fragment.
Understood. Though, I'm not so sure I deserve the Secret Royal Inspector title.
Think of it as an extra line of defense. Westerners would think twice before laying a hand on my successor. Now go forth and never lose sight of your objective.
Right. I'm off.
I still have my doubts about him. But we must ensure he can do this much, yes? After all, if what you say is true, then his hardships are still yet to come.
Darkness envelops the moonless night. One man's blade flashes like lightning, his spirit a raging storm. From the shadows, he cuts through the darkness. His name is Hwang Song-gyong. When the light of hope grows dim, a hero continues to fight for the land and people he loves. The names of the warriors whose fates were bound to the two swords have been etched into the very fibers of history.